We've all felt it before. You're out on a run, feeling a little bit foggy, and then suddenly the fog lifts, your mind sharpens, and you feel amazing.
And that's arguably one of the best feelings that you can get, is that post-run high. And it kind of sticks around for quite a while after too.
Yeah, it does. It's very hard to deny the fact that running has a positive effect on your brain. In fact, the World Health Organization has even confirmed it. But do you actually know what's going on there? What is the connection between running and feeling good? Well, today we're going to delve into that.
So we have been given a few cue cards here from the team at the Running Channel. No idea what they say on them, but there are some questions and some answers that we'll be attempting before we actually give away the right answers.
Oh, I don't know how we're going to do it this, but let's give it a go.
How many do you think we're going to get correct? Stay tuned to find out. Question time, you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, fantastic. Question number 1. What is the hippocampus?
Ooh, okay, I did psychology A level. I know it's a part of the brain. Do you know what it does?
I think it sits in the front, near the front, like prefrontal cortex.
Okay, nice.
Lobe, something. I think it's in charge of emotions or action. It's in charge of one of them.
Interesting. So it's either going to be actually helping you run or helping you feel good whilst running?
It's going to be one of them. It's in the brain and it does something very important.
Right,
That's what I know.
Should we see what the actual answer is?
Yes. Do you want to read it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
The hippocampus is a small curved formation located in the temporal lobe of the brain.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, it's kind of close.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
So it has 3 primary functions: forming new memories, learning, and emotions.
I got 1/3
You
of
got
them right.
one.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So it's going to be linked to like new memories of enjoying running and emotions. So like how you're feeling on the run as well.
That's insane. I think my hippocampus is broken because I can't remember anything. I don't know what I had for breakfast this morning. But I can remember how I feel after a run. So I got 1/3 of it working.
Yeah.
What was the middle one?
Learning.
Learning, oh yeah.
I think you need to
Two-thirds of my
you need to work on that one, but hey, it
broken.
might just be short term. So apparently, studies conducted by the Karolinska Institute in Sweden found that exercise increases the formation of new cells within the hippocampus in a process called neurogenesis.
Sounds like my superior name.
Yeah, that's a great word. So this part of the brain is susceptible to neurodegenerative diseases such as dementia and Alzheimer's, but exercise has been shown to grow it and make it stronger, which in turn increases spatial memory and effectively reverses age-related memory loss in volume by as much as 1 to 2 years.
So in layman's terms,
Yeah.
you can exercise and you can offset like neurodegenerative diseases.
Yeah, so like if it's often a thing, like as you get older you're going to forget more, but actually that's incredible that exercise can have an effect in helping to delay that or even reverse it.
But imagine you forget that you've exercised and you go out for a second run. What happens then?
Then you've gone too far. That's when you need to start writing stuff down. Have you done that? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. But
Should
that's
we-
it's crazy that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's very cool. Should we do another question?
Yes.
Let's do it. True or false?
True.
Running causes stress.
True. I'm gonna say true.
Oh, I was going to say false. Running for me is the thing that makes me not feel stressed.
I think it's a loaded or misleading question because it causes stress on the body, but good stress.
True.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
Do you think?
I know the team at the Running Channel. They're
I
sneaky.
I think running just releases everything. It's not going to cause any stress.
No, but it's like, have you heard of Dodson's law of arousal, where like some stress increases performance? You can't tell me Andy wasn't stressed on the start line of an Olympic race.
Yeah, but is that the stress that everyone feels with running? You know
We're
what?
about to find out.
Put us out of our misery. What is the
We're
answer?
about to find out. So you said false.
Mhm.
It's true. Running does cause stress,
Uh-huh.
but in a good way. Exercise causes stress on the body, and exposure to this helps train the body and mind to manage general stress levels overall. I had a feeling that they were going to say that.
Interesting.
So research shows that while exercise initially spikes the stress response in the body, people experience low levels of stress hormones like cortisol and epinephrine after bouts of physical activity. When you engage in strenuous physical activity, you're essentially mimicking the responses that can come with anxiety, allowing your body and mind to learn how to manage these responses and not be overwhelmed by them in other situations.
That's that's really interesting. So if you're someone that's in like quite a high pressure environment work-wise, actually running is training you how to deal with that situation.
It's like a mock exam before your actual exam. I think that's why so it's backed up by the University of Maryland study that found that people who looked at unpleasant images at 15 minutes after a half-hour workout showed lower levels of anxiety compared to those who looked at the images after sitting quietly for 30 minutes. So if you put yourself through stress out of choice, then you're more likely to deal with stress better 30 minutes after, evidently.
I tell you what as well, this is making me think of, if you have a Garmin and you look at your stress score on it, you can look at like a 7-day average, and perhaps when you had like quite a hard workout or a long run or an interval session, you might actually see that your stress is spiking. You don't need to worry about that, because that is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
In reason.
Within reason. I was right.
Okay. Next.
Let's go. Is running better for your brain than cycling or swimming?
Ooh, yes.
Why?
Because based on the stress question, I feel like it must be better than cycling or swimming, because they're what you would use as a runner to cross-train, because they're lower impact. So surely if they're lower impact, then running is more intense, so it's better for your brain?
I think the question is because it's better for your brain. I think you're still going to get the same, so I'm going to disagree. I think you get the same rewards for it, just with less stress on your body.
Do you think?
Yes.
No, I mean, I haven't ever done swimming or cycling workouts, but I feel like there's something running-wise, only in running do you get the meditative high. But maybe you do get that if you really exert yourself.
DM Michael Phelps and find out.
Should we
check
find out?
the answer? Yes.
Let's try it. Aerobic workouts in general have benefits, particularly when endurance is involved. So there's no fixed answer here.
Lovely. None of us are right. Or both of us are right.
Right.
No, I don't want Sarah to get points. So none of us are
no,
right.
that's a point each, please. There's also evidence to suggest that resistance training, weightlifting for example, and mind-body exercises like yoga and Tai Chi all bring benefits for brain health.
That's not surprising at all, because I feel great when I leave the gym.
I feel awful when I go to the gym. But I guess actually this is showing that there's no like one size fits all category. It really is going to depend on what exercises you like and what you feel you get the most.
Yeah, no, and I think if you do get that joy regardless of what exercise you like, then you don't have to be so focused on running if running isn't your thing, or cycling if cycling isn't your thing.
And you can have more than one as well. Like, I'm still looking to find my second one. For me, running is the only thing that gives me that biggest boost. But you love...
I love the gym, yeah. So gym is like my second, at the moment, safe haven, where it's the only other thing that I can do that gives me that same kind of joy. I don't get it from cycling. I don't really get it from swimming.
No.
Football used to be it, but now football is obviously a lot of running as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's just running and gym that give it to me.
I would love to know, let me know in the comments, do you have any other exercise that you do regularly that gives you the same boost, that same kind of runner's high that you get from running? Give me some options of what I can do.
Tennis. You might pick up tennis, Sarah.
Ooh, you do run quite a long way in tennis though.
Yeah, laterally.
I just don't understand with tennis. I always hit it too far. I can never get it within the line.
At least you hit it. Me?
You just,
yeah,
the
swing and
ball's
miss.
just flying off. Right, should we do another question?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. What is the Stroop test?
All I can think of is stroop waffles.
I know, that's what I was thinking
the
of.
Stroop test.
Or strudels.
What's a strudel?
Like a noodle? Like a noodle?
I have no idea. No, I actually have no idea in answer to this
I
question.
have no idea. We've done quite a lot of tests on the Marine channel. We've done the beat test. We've done the Cooper test, which is like a 12-minute
Oh,
out.
yeah.
The beat test is where you run between two cones, so I'm assuming it's another similar type of
Running test.
But then how is that going to be linked to your brain?
I think the Stroop marathon is what we're going for here. So every single mile you eat a Stroop waffle.
Yes.
That's my answer.
That one. Okay, let's find out.
The Stroop test, which has been used to test cognitive performance since the 1930s, requires participants to name the colour in which a word is written rather than reading the word itself. Oh, I have done this before.
Oh, I've done this too.
It's like when the word says pink, but it's in green.
In green?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so hard.
So, the faster they can respond correctly, the higher their cognitive performance is. In one study using the Stroop test, a group of teenagers under assessment scored higher in their tests after having completed a round of 10-second sprints. Interesting. In another test, older adults who regularly ran or did other high-intensity aerobic activities performed significantly better on tests than those who were inactive. What do you think this suggests before I read the rest?
That exercise gets your reaction speed going a bit quicker.
Yeah, potentially, or it could increase cognitive function. Well,
Yeah.
this suggests that running is linked with the enhancement of brain processing speeds. In other words, concentration.
You know what? This tallies up to I feel like it's all to do with reaction speed as well. At the National Running Show earlier this year, we had a reaction speed tester. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Very similar to, it was a whole big board and each bit of it lit up at different points and you had to tap it, and actually because it was a whole room of runners, when the person came back to pick it up they were really impressed with our scores.
And I think to be fair, that's why I don't get why we don't do PE before exams. We should all go for like 100-meter sprint before we sit an exam.
Yeah, because it gets you all firing up. Okay, we'll get you an exam. And we'll get you to do another sub 3 hour marathon, and then we'll make you sit a 2 hour exam. Sounds good?
Get the board of education on the line, because I have a plan.
Yeah, we're going to revolutionise schools. Before we get carried away, should we do another question?
Yes. How long do you need to run for the brain to benefit?
Ooh. Everyone gets a runner's high at different points though.
Yeah, mine's like 2 minutes in.
Oh, mine's like 40.
Really?
Yeah.
So any 20-25 minute run, you're just like, nah.
Unless it's no, because I would get it like if it's less than, if I'm going for a 5k PB, I do not feel good at all during
that. You not get the runner's high afterwards?
Yeah, and then I'll get it after.
Yeah, but that means you've only run for 22 minutes, let's say, because
Okay, I'm gonna say 15.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it depends.
I love
that.
that.
A cheat answer.
Oh, he's sitting on the fence.
I think it's 70% of your effort or above, you get a runner's high.
No, I get a runner's high 40 minutes into an easy pace long run.
I get bored.
Really?
Yeah, I can't do a long run alone. I just get so bored. But also, so the question is, how long does it take to benefit the brain? I'm going to say 2 minutes.
So it's not 2 minutes?
Yeah. 2 minutes a day can benefit your brain.
I've been running for way too long. Should we find out?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, I really hope I'm right here. The World Health Organization recommends engaging in regular physical activity for at least 150 minutes per week in order to achieve mental health benefits. So that's about 21 minutes a day.
So your 5k PB.
So my 5k PB, yeah, every day.
Every single day.
But I don't think that needs to be, that could be like 21 minutes of walking or it doesn't have to be 21 minutes of running. But then, results from an experiment by West Michigan University suggest that running for at least half an hour is required for reaching cortical flicker frequency threshold. This is associated with the ability to process information faster and more efficiently. 2 other academic studies on adolescent athletes found that those under assessment showed measurable gains in concentration and the ability to solve problems after just 10 minutes of interval sprints. A separate study found that HIIT, when measured against walking, was better for reducing anxiety and depression.
So
lots of different yeah, there's lots of different answers there. I mean, I guess there probably isn't enough research into specifically what amount of running, because the main thing is going to be into like exercise in general.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that just 10 minutes of sprints can have a big effect. So
yeah.
Maybe.
So as little as 10 minutes of sprints, which is crazy because that means you have 24 hours in a day. If you can find 10 minutes aside and you'll benefit your own brain,
yeah,
that's wonderful.
Or if you think about it, like 21 minutes a day of walking, that's quite easy to find.
That's me to the bus stop.
Yeah. That is like me from the station to the office, back from the office to the station.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's literally your 20-minute cycle or commute to work as well.
Yeah. But it's a bit longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a bit longer than 2 minutes, but it's not quite 40, so that's a good thing.
It's not quite 40. But I do feel like everyone's going to be different though. Let us know in the comments. At what stage in your run do you get the runner's high? Before, during, after?
What I'd love to know, to be fair, is does it have to be 21 minutes of straight exercise, or can it be split up into 4 chunks of 5 minutes, for example?
Yeah, well, like that mile an hour challenge. Have you seen that? Bo Mars did a mile on the hour every hour for 24 hours.
Okay.
Or
it's like David Goggins' for
48 hours.
Yeah.
Anna's given it a go. Do you reckon we should try 48? No? Okay. Okay, last one. True or false? Runner's high comes about through the release of endorphins.
Yes, true.
Why?
because runner's high, like endorphins, I don't know, they're feel good chemicals is what I'm gonna assume. It's like the the buzzwords that are thrown about. So
Yeah.
endorphins equals feel good equals runner's high. That's how my brain connected it.
You use your hands way more when you're unsure.
I'm just trying to
gesticulate. You're using the lack of words with the amount of gestures. Meanwhile, I've just asked loads of questions because I have no idea. I feel like, when you run, you release endorphins. When you get endorphins, you get a runner's high.
That word for word.
Is that what I just?
Word for word what I said, without the hands, obviously.
Yeah.
Should we find out?
Yeah.
So this is the first one we both agreed on. So let's see if we're all right. False. Potentially, for a while, endorphins were credited as being chemical generated. Let me read that again.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, endorphins were credited as being a chemical generated through physical activity that brings about the feelings people refer to as the runner's high. However, some recent studies suggest that while endorphins help to prevent muscles from feeling pain, it is unlikely that they contribute to any mood change. That's because they're not able to pass from the blood into the brain. Instead, that relaxed post-run feeling may instead be due to something called endocannabinoids. Sounds like cannabis. A biochemical substance similar to cannabis. Oh, okay. That are naturally produced by the body. I'm so smart. Some neuroscientists describe these as "don't worry, be happy" chemicals. That sounds heebie-jeebie.
Interesting. I love stuff like that where it's like a modern myth.
So endocannabinoids.
Endocannabinoids.
So do you think it's like literally linked to why cannabis also makes us feel like super chilled?
Well, then they're both called. They're both called like a high, right?
Yeah, but I thought it was the
That
endorphins.
is so interesting that it's literally because like so many people talk about how like the runner's high is this like amazing feeling. It's literally like a drug, and it literally is like a drug.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting to see like how common myths just stick about because everyone's like, shared endorphins, runner's high is so great, but endorphins just stop you from feeling pain. Which technically can make you feel better, but it has nothing to do with mood change.
It's interesting, isn't it? There are loads of these words that are battered around that I just assume and take as read, but no. Yeah,
this is why we have to do the research ourselves. But that's very, very interesting. However, don't worry, be happy. Finish a run, and you can get some endocannabinoids. I'm going to remember that.
Well, I think you got more right there than me, Mo. So well done. You can, out of the two of us, you can go and study and be a brain scientist.
Yes.
I'm going to stick to the running.
I think for me, the one thing I'm going to take away from this is don't do drugs, go for a run.
Yeah, so true, and you'll get exactly the same feeling.
Yeah.
But I know running has definitely benefited my brain, and that is backed up by a lot of science we've gone through today.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think I am very good at guessing, like you said. I had no prior knowledge to this, but I think, that running isn't like a one-size-fits-all approach to dealing with like mental health issues, and it definitely shouldn't be like a substitute for therapy. But as we've learned today, that it can be such a good benefit to your mental health and to your brain power in general, concentration levels, your thinking speeds, just lots of positives, and obviously more research does need to be done on it, but I think there's more benefits than negatives.
100%. But another person who has massively benefited from running after being told he would never run again is Rick, who is finally back running after injury. If you want to hear about his story on the running channel, go and click this video right here.
Trying to find the right arrow.